Hi, Darcy. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, just fine. Actually, I have the camera turned to face the class so you can see everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Probably stand over there. I know. Is that working? The way the light is, it's hard for me to tell from the small image. But anyway, it's great to see you.
Good to see you too. I think I can see everybody.
Okay. Great. Well, would you, we talked earlier about Darcy at Art Center East. Maybe I'll give her a chance to, to introduce herself, tell you more about what they do, and talk about ways that we might be able to help in that internet marketing class. Does that sound like reasonable to you, Darcy?
Sounds great. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, sounds good. So it's lovely to meet you all. I'm Darcy Dolce. I'm the executive director here at Art Center East. And we are a member-based nonprofit art services organization. And we primarily serve Union County with one program that serves 10 counties. And to sum up kind of what we do is we do programming that includes workshops, music ensembles. We have 3 galleries here locally, just down the street from where you're sitting. And we serve artists as entrepreneurs in a lot of different ways, as far as giving them an opportunity to sell their work in a space that only has one other gallery in town, and that's up at EOU. And we also provide a way for them to create a revenue stream through teaching to the community, both in person and online. Things are a little different now that COVID has entered our lives. So we're also adding a take and make program. So essentially, we serve the community in any medium of the arts that we can with a very limited staff, if that sums it up at all.
We actually have an artist with us today.
Yay.
All right. So are there any questions about that? So our Art Center East, what street is that you're on? Is it?
We're on the corner of Penn and 4th.
Right, so there's a brick building there. It used to be like a Carnegie Library.
Yes, it used to house the library. It was built in 1913. So it is a Carnegie building. And it's got all the quirks of being a beautiful over 100-year-old building. But it's a really beautiful space. If you haven't had a chance to come in and look, it's worth visiting.
Yeah, so if you're going down 4th, you'll see, towards downtown from here, you'll see a big red brick building on your right. That's where Darcy's at, and that's where Art Center East is. I haven't been there a ton of times, but I was there once for a, it looked like there was an art show there. There was a gallery was open. There was a gift shop. They have some spaces underneath where you could do, you could rent like studio space. Right.
So we've got 3 studios downstairs. One is the main studio that houses the majority of our in-house classes. And if you're an artist, you can also rent that space. And then we've got a glass studio. So we do all of the cold glass processes or warm glass processes, which means fused glass, lamp glass, things like that. And we leave the blown glass to Kevin Boylan, who's on Main Street. And then we've got a pottery studio as well.
So there's a little studio down on Adams I've seen recently.
Yes, that's Kevin Boylan's studio. So he's got both a hot glass, a blowing glass studio, and a little metal shop in there, and he's doing a great job. He's got workshops as well as a small gallery.
Awesome. Have you guys seen that place? It's right across from, where the, they had Yaya Nikki's, a Greek place that was right by Safeway, and then they opened another one on Adams, on the other side of town, And the boiler studio that Darcy's talking about is across the street, just one block up from that. Used to be an old gas station.
Yeah, it's red and black and gray, I think. It's hard to miss. It's a really neat place.
So what are you doing does everybody have a sense for what they do? The community? Okay, cool. So gallery activities, encouraging people to participate in the arts, it's all good stuff. So, what do you think, Darcy? How do you promote the organization today?
Mainly, since most nonprofits have pretty small operating budgets, mainly our website is the way that we promote the organization. Depending on the events, we'll put out posters and the programs that we offer as far as arts education. We have paper offerings, schedules that we put out into the community. We occasionally have something in the newspaper. We use Facebook a lot. We use Instagram a lot. Social media seems to be the best way to get to the most people in the shortest amount of time, it seems like. But our website is really our main draw for people. If anybody's wondering what's going on in the community as far as the arts go, they go to our website. And then of course we pull a lot of the information off the website to build our weekly e-newsletter. So I kind of view those as symbiotic, kind of a synergistic relationship, but both online media.
Yeah, it seems like you gave me a packet of newspapers to give out one time.
Yes, so that was our programming schedule. So pre-COVID, we were offering about 150 classes a quarter to both youth and adults in the arts. So right now we've paused that publication until we can get the classes back up and running at the same pace safely, really.
Yeah, how many classes are you running these days?
Say that again.
How many classes are you running these days?
These days, so staff just came back from another furlough a week ago. So I've got 5 classes up and running for the rest of this month so far. So I'm just going as fast as I can to bring back classes.
And would you say those are important for your operating income?
Yes, so any of our educational programs are our largest revenue stream besides grant funding.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because a lot of nonprofits rely heavily on grants, especially in the arts. So would you say it's 50-50 or? So
we got it up to 70% we were doing in classes and the rest in grants.
Nice.
But traditionally it would be 50-50. Like 50-50 is a very healthy feeling.
Okay.
So, you said something about us helping with the final project. I was wondering what you were like hoping for with our help. Were you wanting to get more people to come to classes or donations or just more awareness of Art Center East?
So that's a great question. Can I get you to preface it with share your name with it?
Oh, my name is Madison.
Hi, Madison. That's a great question. So it's actually a little bit of both. So we actually merged with another organization in 2015. And when we merged, there's within eMerge, a lot of different pieces of the organizations kind of cramming into one website. And since then, with a limited staff, we kind of had to hit the ground running and just keep pushing forward with offerings and making sure that we serve the community. So the website kind of has a lot of danglers and different things that maybe aren't serving us to the best of its ability. So what we gain monetarily from the website most is registrations and memberships and donors. And as a secondary point, it's a place where funders can come and check us out when we put in a grant. So they can see that, yes, we're doing all the things that we said we were doing on the application, and just kind of poke around. So for me, it would be wonderful if, well, for the organization, obviously, to get your take on how intuitive it is for those aspects that I just mentioned. Like, is it easy to go there as a hub and find classes and about what we do and maybe become a member? Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, so you're just wanting like maybe a better like website that's a little more easier to navigate or user friendly?
Yeah, intuitive and user friendly. We put a lot of work into our website, but it's the same eyes looking at it all the time. So fresh eyes and a fresh take. And again, like I said, there's a lot of parts of it where maybe we feel it needs an update or an upgrade, but it would actually benefit us to hear it from someone else because we're so close to it, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
So initial insights, feedback. You get a lot of donations on your website?
We do. We get the majority of the website donations come in is either one time or they do a subscription where it's just monthly. It's the same amount monthly.
Like a membership, but only different.
So donations are separate from membership. All of our memberships go through our website. So even if you came in person and you signed up on a paper form, then we all always plug it in through our membership database that's now on our website.
You're a member, you pay once a year?
Right. So they again have the ability to do just an annual membership or sign up for that annual membership, and then it auto subscribes them until they tell it to stop.
Okay. And you mentioned something about a business membership.
Right. So the business membership came out of necessity, really. So we've got a lot of businesses that get very confused between the differences of sponsorship and membership. And fundraising is usually the primary action of the board of directors. But if you get to a point where your board members are overworked, or it's maybe a group that their strengths aren't in the going door to door and asking for money, it becomes stressful on the board, and it also becomes really weird for those businesses, because then you have a board member that has a hard time telling them why it's a good thing to give us your money. So we had a few businesses that just said, I just want to give $100 to $200 a year, and you give me the same thing every year, rather than us hitting them maybe in the middle of their budget, or they've already spent their budget when we ask for sponsors. So we felt that a business membership tier system would be maybe the most beneficial, so it can live on the website. Staff can easily direct them to that, and it really shows what we can offer them for their monetary investment. And of course, when you're looking at these business memberships, I think it's important to remember that a lot of times when you look at membership tiers, you get a lot of free stuff. It's like all the things that we're giving that person kind of get aggressive and a little out of reach. So it's important for us to be mindful of what can the staff in the organization actually give in return that's not burning us out as well.
It's common with a lot of nonprofits or a lot of organizations that have members, is to try and define what your member benefits are, because that's what people are buying into. Right? So the more compelling those member benefits, just like any product or service, the more compelling those member benefits are, the more people are willing to sign up and join and donate, et cetera. So what I think Darcy's talking about, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that, we have businesses that want to participate. They're not necessarily individuals. But one way you can participate as a business is you could sponsor an event. They're having a wine and cheese party or a gallery showing of a special artist or something like that. And the sponsor can put in money to help make that happen. But if you have money events, somebody's got to be out selling those events, right? Talking to the sponsors, trying to get them to sign up. On the other hand, the other model is the business can just sign up. They can just say, I'm going to be a member and I'm just going to give you guys $200 a year. And you put my name on the website or you put my name on the flyer. And I'll just be a part of whatever you're doing. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
So and it could be a good thing. There are probably businesses in town that would want to participate, even if they didn't get their name on stuff, just because it's a good cause, just because, investing in the arts is a good thing. In Portland, they have something called, I think it was called 2% for the arts. Have you heard about that?
1%. I think they're 1% or 2%. Yeah.
1%, yeah. Do you want to share how that works?
So essentially, the communities can sign up where is it tax brackets where there's 1% that automatically goes to arts organizations. We do not have that luxury. It's a very cool thing. I wish everyone would implement it. But this would kind of take, if the more businesses you can get involved with that, it kind of takes the place of that if the higher governments aren't putting that into the system for where we currently live.
Yeah, I know a lot of places too, when they're building new buildings or things, a lot of architects will put a certain percentage into art, into design. And I was sharing with Darcy the other day, it's a program they have in a city where I used to live, named Lake Oswego, where every year they'll go out to the artists and they'll get a selection of artwork and then they'll display it around town. It's called the Gallery Without Walls. And so the whole community gets to see it and enjoy it for a year. And at the end of the year, they vote. And they do this every year. They vote, and based on the people's choice, they will buy one of those pieces and they become part of the permanent collection. And then they go out and shop for new art that's displayed for the next year, along with the permanent pieces that are always there. So it's a great way for the community to support, the arts, and to also expose people to more art and creativity, things like that. Do you have a question? What kind of art do you do?
Mostly painting.
Mostly painting?
Yeah, trying to get into digital. I actually have work in Art Center East right now for the Junior Theory show.
All right, do you know each other, Darcy?
I can't see you very well.
I'm Jan.
Hi there.
Hi.
It's a great show up right now. You guys did a good job.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay, other questions? Ideas? Yeah, give us a question. So have you ever been to this gallery?
I have not.
Have you ever been to any gallery?
I have not.
Why not?
I don't know. I just haven't.
What would get you interested in that kind of thing?
I don't know, I guess going to one might get me interested.
What was that?
When are people supposed to be, like, when are the times people can go in and just look? That's it?
Oh, yeah, it's he's off. I think you're asking about gallery hours?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we have limited hours because of our staffing, but we're open Wednesday through Friday from noon to 5 and then Saturday from 10 to 2.
Okay. And I'm sorry, we just met each other. So your name again?
Derek.
Derek.
D-E-R-E-K.
Derek. Okay, got it. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
You can't see people's mouths, It's
Yeah.
a little tricky. So Darcy, why would somebody like Derek want to get involved with the gallery? What would bring them in? I mean, we got a whole campus of students who should be in there. But
That's-
how would you sell Derek on the opportunity?
Well, Derek, my dear, it depends on your interests. However, it's just a great place to meet people and see. I mean, really, if you're not here for arts education, so say you didn't want to come for a class and you had a spare 20 minutes, it's just a really nice space to be. You can, I mean, if there's free Wi-Fi, you can come in and take a look at the art, maybe buy a gift for somebody if you had somebody on your list that you needed to shop for, and just meet people. Especially difficult, I feel like, during COVID times. But it's a nice way to just become a part of your community with no strings attached. You know, we get to come in, meet new people, tell us your interests. We like to hook you up with maybe other people that share the same interests, depending, no matter what the medium. If you're not into art at all, then you just have to let me know and we'll figure something out.
Would you be interested if there was bird stuff there?
I'd be interested in like wine and cheese night.
Wine and cheese night?
I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Have you guys considered collaborating with Wind Down for any of your gallery events?
A lot of times we do collaborate with different restaurants. We've collaborated with Wine Down during different Mother's Day offerings, or we had Side A here for handmade holidays for a beer garden, and we also had Heinz over to provide food for that event. So anytime we can collaborate, we try to do that. Right now, due to COVID, food is hard to serve during these openings. So we're trying to create partnerships with like the Cheese Fairy and Baker and James and Pearl locally, and the Tea House to provide kind of like a picnic lunch. So you'd come in and view the art, you'd already have purchased your picnic, and then you head out into the beautiful place that we live after you view that art and get to eat great food from local restaurants. So any way that we can support the economy outside of our medium through collaborations, we try to do that, but we're always open for more suggestions like that.
Oh, so if you were thinking about, you know, an event where there was the gallery, wine and cheese, and the social interaction and the networking, which of those three things is most compelling for you? Yeah.
It's the wine and cheese.
Okay, good. How about you?
Probably the social aspect.
The social piece of it? Do you find that there's a shortage of places to network here in town?
Especially during COVID, yeah.
COVID makes it tough.
Yeah, even harder than it was before.
So you guys, just a funny little story. My friend, Steve Clements, is the mayor of LeGrand. He used to be a teacher here. So he used to be right down the hall. And he was telling me what they're doing right now is, because they haven't been able to get out much, is they have their friends and neighbors and they'll get on a Zoom conference call and then they'll all have cocktails and stuff. So they'll have like an online cocktail party.
No, no,
It was funny for me. I was like, wow, that's cool.
So this is open Wednesday through Friday, 12 to 5. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a common theme is just in LeGrand in general, is everything closes down so early. Like, there's a lot of people that probably wouldn't have time to come in. I wouldn't all the time, really.
With this practice and stuff. Right?
Yeah, but say if it was open to like 9 or 10, that might be something that was more
Yeah,
enticing, but I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, by the way, this is just a data point, is that historically here in the College of Business, we don't schedule classes from 3 to 6. Just because we have so many student athletes on campus and most of them have practice in that window. So if you're attracting students, then that's a time frame that's maybe not as ideal.
So on the weekends, you guys are mostly in tournaments or games, right? So like that 10 to 2, by the time you hit the weekend, you only really have Sunday left, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's tricky.
So maybe church art.
Yeah, and we've really tried to, I love the hour feedback, because especially, so those are the gallery hours, and then all the programming takes place on all sides of that. So if you came to a class, it could be while we're closed, or you came to a Lush campus, which is just wine and painting. It would be in the evening on a Friday night. But we used to be open pre-COVID, Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, which didn't, and then Saturday from noon until 4. But it seemed like, do you guys feel it would be best for your schedules if it was after dinner, even? Like if there were social hours that were after dinner?
Seems a little more.
And in Portland, in the business community, which is what I know about, I mean, most of the networking things are after hours.
Yeah.
They start at about 5:30.
Right.
7, sometimes later.
And for me, I work until like 7:30 most nights during the week. Then that's like after I get off classes and stuff. So if you could I feel like the later hours you could get, you might attract more of like the student population.
Right? What would bring you in the doors? Just something that was food and wine and social networking related, or is there other things that more activity based that would be appealing?
I would be interested in more activity-based things, like if you did just like an open workshop night where people paid I don't know, $25 to come in and just try to get on the pottery wheel or something like that. A group of friends could come in for $25 and spend an hour or two just checking it out, and they might come back if they like the space.
So maybe like a speed dating for mediums,
Sure, yeah.
where you'd get kind of a,
Maybe more just a free flow, they can walk around and go to the different areas and stuff, but
What a Build-A-Bear workshop.
I don't know if I could do that for you guys. Do you, I'm just curious, you mentioned $25. I know school is expensive and we don't have any money when we're in school. Is that reasonable? Is $25 for most people in this room too much? Too little?
And look at Zach, he's shaking his head here.
I think reasonable would be like $5 at most, is I think
we also have,
that's medium honest.
if you're using a whole bunch of clay and mediums and stuff like that, and then also they want to make revenue off of this, I feel personally, I would pay $25 to go do this, but yeah, I was gonna say we're also interested in different things.
So I'll pull in a special interest of mine, and I don't know if you even have the equipment for this, but I mean, what if it was something related to cooking? I mean, it's Spanish cooking night or Thai cooking night or.
Yeah, we love doing culinary arts programming, and they've been very popular, but they're all way outside even that $25 price range, just based on the cost of groceries. We don't do those in our space. We usually partner with a kitchen elsewhere. So a kitchen within the Presbyterian Friendship Center or up at the high school. So they're usually off-site offerings when it's culinary arts, but they've been very popular. It's just how do we make that a price point that doesn't just make you look at it and say well, I can't afford that. I can get dinner over here for this amount of money and I don't have to make it, right?
Yeah, we used to have coffee hour here. I got you.
Yes,
I'll come back to my point. Go ahead.
I think that's you can create a real experience, a unique experience for just 1 week, and that people can show on Instagram, and people can just say it's only 1 week, and people will show up to see that one time because it's only 1 week, and the other week you do another experiences with light or specific weekend, specific week, just a light show, and you can very beautiful that you can Instagram and share with everybody.
Right, so you're saying, you know, if you've got, I think you're saying, is that you've got an artist and it's like an exclusive,
Yes.
it's only gonna be there a week. And since it's only gonna be there a week, the scarcity makes people want to come
Yes.
see it.
Just one specific week for a show and just one week. Yes. It's very exclusive.
No, I think it's a great idea. And I think you do something like that, don't you, with like different shows, that's why you rotate them through?
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of different cultural programming that we can bring in based on grants is, yeah, we only can afford them for a week, but it usually, they're more popular programs just because of that scarcity. And there is something to be said about it just being, maybe it's an artist from Portland or it's an artist from New York or whatever. And they're only here for a little bit of time, so you have to get on the opportunity when you can. Those have been hugely successful in the past, absolutely. And usually we're able to offer those for free because they're grant funded.
Yeah, so let me throw out another idea, back to the food thing, we used to have a coffee hour here in the College of Business. We'd have it, every week, and usually it's the faculty doing stuff for the students, for doing food and stuff. But in the past, I've done, like, for example, I had sushi, and I got Momiji to cover it, right? Because they're trying to promote their product or service. But I'm wondering if somebody like Momiji, if they would come in and be willing to do a sushi like workshop, they would bring the fish, they would sponsor it. People might pay to attend, but because you've got a sponsor like that, it brings the cost down. And that's one of the things they found on the Food Network. When they first started out, they had guys like Emeril Lagasse on there. He's a famous New Orleans chef, and he would cook stuff. And they were really nervous that people would just copy the recipes and they just make it themselves. But what they found is that even though people saw it, and they saw the ingredients, and they saw the techniques, and some people did do that, mostly it just raised people's interest because they still wanted somebody to cook the food for them. Right, but then it just created more awareness. So I don't know, just a thought. I mean, are students interested in food?
Yeah, I think doing something like that, having it be like after hours, like you said, would be something more students would go to.
And what's the easiest way for you to find out about stuff like that? Like, if say you're not following the Art Center East Facebook page, how would you find out about that opportunity?
Probably through friends.
What if you had like the school, like you sent whoever was in charge of sending out the email list, like your flyer, and then they could forward it to the student body? Or posters around campus or something?
There's a group that does posters around campus. I don't know how effective, do you guys all see the posters?
We're just not on campus as often we used to be because COVID.
Okay, yeah, because in the hall downstairs, there's a couple of boards there. I know you guys go in there and watch films and stuff.
Yeah, I used to.
With that,
I still look at posters when I see them, but
okay.
not as effective.
All right, so, yes,
Hi, my name is Jose Orozco, and I happen to attend one of the art galleries. I believe it's the same building you're mentioning. There is an old building going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same one, but at that time we had an assignment. Then we had to turn it into like a project, and it brought a lot of students. And it was really nice socializing and getting ideas. We got, like extra credit. But even though if it was not an assignment or extra credit, it was really nice. It turned out pretty nice because we get exposed to different ideas, different galleries, and they had the jars I'm not sure if you were involved in that, but, you got a jar where you can also donate. So they mentioned like free snacks, so that one was a free tamales.
Mhm.
That's like a little bit more than a year or so. It was pretty nice because, we met students that normally we don't socialize, we just see each other. And then we started like, oh yeah, it was pretty nice, especially on a Friday when the end of the school is just, everyone is tired and, oh, let's take a break. And with the donations right next to it, it becomes obvious that people are donating more.
Okay. So social events, after hours, end of the week,
Right.
okay. So I have, so Darcy, is it all right if we talk about this and get back to you with some ideas on, what we could do over the course of the term?
Sounds fantastic.
And then if you have additional ideas, send them to me. I'll share with the class, but it should be, I don't know, a week or so.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Well, thank you for being here with us this morning.
Well, thanks guys for just putting your brains into this. It's exciting for me because I just love to hear feedback I don't get to work with that many college students, so I'm just excited to work with you guys, and thanks for your time in doing this.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Oh, can you see me?
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.